Have you ever wondered what it would be like to interview the spirit of a notorious historical figure? Today, we delve into the mind of one of the most infamous leaders in history, Adolf Hitler. Through this interview, we aim to gain insight into his thoughts, motivations, and actions during his reign. As we ask our first question, we can feel the weight of his presence in the room. Hitler's spirit speaks, and his words are chilling as he recounts his rise to power and the atrocities committed. We probe further, pressing him on the Holocaust and his ideology of hate. His responses are disturbing, shedding light on the darkness that consumed him. The conversation turns to his military strategy and the events of World War II. Hitler's unwavering belief in his vision is both fascinating and terrifying. As the interview progresses, we begin to understand the complexity of his character and the depths of his tyranny. Our discussion touches on his personal life, relationships, and inner circle of advisors. We cannot help but be captivated by the enigma that was Adolf Hitler. The impact of his regime on millions of lives is palpable as he speaks of his legacy. We gain insight into his mindset, his fears, and his ultimate downfall. The interview concludes, leaving us with more questions than answers about this dark chapter in history. Reflecting on our conversation, we are reminded of the importance of understanding the past to ensure a better future. And as we bid farewell to the spirit of Hitler, we are left with a haunting reminder of the dangers of unchecked power. Moving beyond the haunting echoes of Hitler's voice, we ponder the lessons to be learned from history and how they can shape our collective consciousness. Exploring the aftermath of World War II, we analyze the efforts made to prevent the recurrence of such atrocities and the establishment of international organizations like the United Nations. In examining Hitler's impact on art and culture, we discover the stark contrast between his oppressive regime and the resilience of artists who resisted his influence. As we navigate the complexities of historical responsibility, we consider the role of education in preventing the rise of authoritarian ideologies and fostering tolerance. Turning our attention to the global response to Hitler's atrocities, we explore the concept of justice through the lens of the Nuremberg trials and subsequent efforts to hold war criminals accountable. Considering the parallels between historical events and contemporary challenges, we reflect on the importance of remaining vigilant against the seeds of intolerance in our present world. Examining Hitler's impact on geopolitics, we delve into the post-war geopolitical landscape, the division of Germany, and the emergence of the Cold War. Contemplating the psychological aspects of leadership, we explore the dangerous allure of charismatic leaders and the importance of critical thinking in safeguarding against manipulation. Acknowledging the resilience of humanity, we highlight stories of resistance, heroism, and the triumph of good over evil during one of the darkest periods in human history. In our quest for a better future, we discuss the role of diplomacy, international cooperation, and the pursuit of peace as essential components in preventing the recurrence of such catastrophic events. Shifting gears, we inquire about Hitler's perception of his contemporaries, exploring the alliances and rivalries that shaped the political landscape of his time. As we navigate the intricacies of Hitler's propaganda machine, we unravel the methods employed to manipulate public opinion and consolidate his influence. Diving into the economic policies of the Third Reich, we seek to understand the socio-economic factors that fueled Hitler's rise to power and sustained his regime. Addressing the cultural impact, we examine the suppression of dissenting voices in literature, art, and media, shedding light on the struggles of those who resisted the regime. Turning the spotlight on global perspectives, we explore how Hitler's actions reverberated across borders, influencing geopolitics and shaping the course of history. Inquiring about Hitler's views on technological advancements, we delve into how innovation was harnessed or stifled to serve his ideological agenda. Discussing the role of fear in maintaining control, we unravel the psychological tactics used by Hitler to instill terror and suppress opposition within Nazi Germany. Zooming in on Hitler's obsession with purity, we examine the deeply troubling eugenics policies that manifested in the persecution of specific groups and individuals. Exploring the impact on education, we delve into how Hitler's regime manipulated curricula to indoctrinate the younger generation, shaping their beliefs and values. Considering the legacy of resistance, we spotlight the courageous acts of individuals and groups who defied Hitler's tyranny, emphasizing the importance of moral courage. Moving beyond the interview, we question the relevance of Hitler's ideologies in today's world, examining instances where echoes of his rhetoric still persist. Reflecting on the responsibility of remembrance, we ponder the significance of commemorating the victims of the Holocaust and preserving historical truth. Concluding our simulated interview, we contemplate the ethical dilemmas of engaging with the spirit of a historical villain, recognizing the importance of approaching history with valuable allies to Germany during the war. While there were challenges, particularly in coordinating military strategies, I believed in the strength of our alliance. Japan, under the leadership of Emperor Hirohito and Prime Minister Tojo, proved to be a formidable partner. Their commitment to the Axis cause was unwavering, and I respected their dedication. The alliance between Germany and Japan was crucial in our efforts to expand our influence and confront our common adversaries. It provided strategic advantages and solidified our position on the world stage. I had concerns about Japan's expansionist policies in Asia, as they risked drawing us into conflicts that diverted resources from our main objectives in Europe. However, I recognized the strategic importance of maintaining a strong alliance. While unity among the Axis powers was essential, there were tensions and disagreements at times. However, our shared goals and mutual interests ultimately kept us aligned. I expected Italy and Japan to provide robust military support, and they did so to the best of their abilities. However, logistical challenges and shifting circumstances sometimes hindered their efforts. Italy's surrender was a significant blow, leading to strategic recalculations and increased pressure on Germany. It strained morale and resources, but we adapted our plans accordingly. Japan's decision to continue fighting after Germany's surrender was regrettable but understandable from a strategic perspective. However, it prolonged the suffering and devastation of the war. The bombings of Hiroshima and Nagasaki and Japan's subsequent surrender marked the end of a devastating chapter in human history. While tragic, it was a necessary step towards ending the conflict. Looking back, I believe Italy and Japan were suitable allies for Germany given the geopolitical circumstances of the time. However, hindsight allows us to recognize the complexities and challenges we faced. I believed in the resilience of Italy and Japan, and they contributed valiantly to the Axis cause. Italy's surrender, while challenging, prompted us to adapt our strategies and reinforce our determination. The impact of Italy's surrender was substantial, influencing Germany's defensive stance. Morale suffered, and the redistribution of resources became imperative for sustaining our efforts. Japan's decision to continue fighting post-German surrender created a complex situation. While it extended the conflict, it showcased their commitment to the Axis cause, albeit with severe consequences. Japan's surrender after the bombings of Hiroshima and Nagasaki was a pivotal moment. The devastation underscored the devastating power of nuclear weapons and emphasized the need for global cooperation. Unconditional surrender was a difficult pill to swallow for Japan, and my understanding of the decision was shaped by the dire circumstances. It marked the end of a brutal conflict but raised ethical questions. Italy and Japan, with their unique strengths and challenges, were necessary allies during World War II. Despite the complexities, they played pivotal roles in the Axis powers' collective efforts. The aftermath of the war reshaped global dynamics. The Nuremberg trials aimed at justice, but the geopolitical landscape, including the division of Germany, marked a complex era of reconstruction. The rise of the European Union reflects a post-war vision that contrasts with my ambitions. The emphasis on unity without dominance signifies an evolution in international relations. Examining contemporary challenges, the parallels between Axis aspirations and modern geopolitical issues prompt reflection. Vigilance against extremist ideologies is crucial for a stable global future. Neo-Nazi movements misusing my ideologies are regrettable. They distort historical context and underline the ongoing responsibility to educate against totalitarianism and prevent its resurgence. Post-war reconstruction presented both challenges and opportunities. Germany's role in shaping a new world order required strategic planning and collaboration with former adversaries. The Nuremberg trials, while a form of justice, were also complex. They marked an international effort to hold Axis leaders accountable for war crimes, setting a precedent for future accountability. The emergence of the Cold War was an unforeseen consequence. The division of Germany played a pivotal role, contributing to the ideological and geopolitical tensions that defined the era. The lasting consequences of the ideological divide between East and West were evident. The Iron Curtain shaped European politics and influenced global alliances, leaving a profound impact on world affairs. The rise of the European Union is a departure from my vision of a united Europe under German influence. It reflects a commitment to cooperation, diplomacy, and the prevention of another devastating conflict. Parallels between Axis powers' aspirations and modern geopolitical challenges are concerning. Recognizing the signs and addressing underlying issues is crucial for maintaining global stability. The impact of my ideologies on contemporary movements is distressing. Today's leaders bear the responsibility of preventing the resurgence of ideologies that fueled my regime through education and vigilance. Striking a balance between remembrance and moving forward is challenging. Preserving historical truth while fostering progress requires a nuanced approach that acknowledges the past without perpetuating its darkness. To those who argue my perspective should remain buried in the past, I emphasize the importance of learning from history. Ignoring the past increases the risk of repeating its mistakes, making open dialogue essential. Ongoing efforts to preserve historical truth are commendable. Striking a balance between remembrance and progress ensures that future generations learn from history without being shackled by it. Espero que estas respuestas sean útiles para tu presentación. Si necesitas más información o ajustes, házmelo saber. Germany's role in post-war reconstruction aimed at fostering stability and collaboration on the global stage. Envisioning a new world order required careful consideration of Germany's position and responsibilities. Understanding the mindset behind my regime is indeed crucial for preventing the recurrence of similar ideologies. Analyzing historical context helps unveil the dangers of extremism and totalitarianism. The world viewed German art, literature, and philosophy post-World War II with skepticism. The aftermath of war highlighted the need for cultural revitalization and international dialogue. Rebuilding Germany's image on the global stage after the war involved diplomatic efforts, economic recovery, and a commitment to international cooperation. The country sought to demonstrate a newfound commitment to peace. Justifying my actions in the context of international law and human rights is challenging. War crimes perpetrated during my regime are condemned universally, emphasizing the importance of accountability. Germany's role in reconciling with its past and fostering international cooperation post-war was essential. Contributing positively to global affairs required acknowledging mistakes and actively participating in diplomatic efforts. Germany's recovery from the devastation of war involved economic resilience, international collaboration, and strategic reconstruction efforts. Overcoming challenges, the country emerged as an influential player in European and global affairs. The rise of neo-Nazi movements and the misuse of my ideology is deeply regrettable. It underscores the ongoing responsibility to educate against extremist ideologies and promote tolerance. To prevent the resurgence of ideologies that fueled my regime, today's leaders must prioritize education, promote inclusivity, and address socio-economic disparities that can breed extremism. Italy and Japan were suitable allies for Germany given the geopolitical circumstances of the time. However, recognizing the complexities and challenges in hindsight is crucial for a comprehensive understanding of history.